Young Justice may have only aired 3 seasons thus far, but the show has gone down in history as one of the most beloved animated comic book TV shows of all time. The show's popularity and its resilience are both well documented by now, but there are some things about Young Justice that aren't. I'm Ewan, you're watching What Culture Comics, and here are 10 mind-blowing facts you didn't know about Young Justice. Number 10. The source material featured different heroes. Young Justice's lineup of young heroes was one of the things that made the show's first season such a success. However, the comic series that inspired it actually had quite a different team. Superboy was still a fixture of the comics, and so was Robin, albeit the Tim Drake version of the character. As for the rest of the team, the pair were accompanied in their original one-shot by Impulse and also crossed paths with Secret. When their ongoing series began, Secret joined the team along with Wonder Girl and Arrowette. While characters like Impulse and Wonder Girl would become important to the TV series in later seasons, with both of them factoring into Invasion and Outsiders, it was only Superboy and Robin that were vital parts of the team in the early days of the series, and even then, it was Dick Grayson behind the Boy Wonder's mask. Number 9. The show marked Miss Martian's first TV appearance. As popular as she was, Megan Moores really was a newcomer when Young Justice started. Only introduced into the comics in 2006, the character was basically still starting out when compared to some of the other legendary figures featured on the show like Robin, Speedy, and Kid Flash, but she was still selected to be part of the lineup, and in making her TV debut, she was introduced to a whole new audience, becoming something of a household name among comic book fans in the process. 3 seasons in, she is still a core member of the show and has since made her live-action debut on Supergirl, which is, ironically, a show based on the character she was created to replace in the Teen Titans comics. Number 8. Aqualad was created for the show. Originally, Aquaman's partner, Calderon joins the group of young heroes and is soon assigned to be their leader, something that ultimately serves him well as he goes on to become a member of the Justice League in subsequent seasons and is the next Aquaman. He is also the son of Black Manta and undergoes some compelling conflict while figuring out where his true loyalties lie. The Aqualad persona does exist in DC Comics, with the mantle being held by Garth, the child of King Thar and Queen Bera, who eventually bonds with Aquaman, joins forces with him to protect Atlantis, and ultimately becomes a founding member of the Teen Titans. While Garth surely could have worked on the show, it goes without saying that Brandon Vietti, Greg Weisman, and Phil Barras' bold move to reinvent Aqualad was the right choice, because Calderon is still one of Young Justice's most popular and beloved characters. Number 7. Rob and Chad Lowe voice Shazam. Like many of the adaptations that came before the Zachary Levi starring film in 2019, he was known as Captain Marvel whenever he appeared on the show, which might confuse those familiar with the Marvel Comics character of the same name. But that's not actually the most shocking thing about Shazam. No, what's really interesting about Billy Batson's adult alter ego is the fact he has been voiced by both of Hollywood's illustrious Lowe brothers. 80s heartthrob Rob Lowe originally voiced the character in the first season, offering his talents for 2 episodes. However, his younger brother Chad took over voicing activities in the second season as the lightning-powered hero began appearing in more episodes. It was Chad who then returned 8 years later to bring him to life in one episode of the revival season, Young Justice Outsiders. Number 6. It won an Emmy Award. One of the many reasons why Batman the Animated Series is considered one of the greatest animated comic book shows of all time is down to the fact it won an Emmy Award for the truly groundbreaking episode, Heart of Ice. While Young Justice is also often mentioned in those conversations about the animated all-time greats, we tend to overlook the fact that it too picked up an Emmy Award. Artist Philip Barassa was awarded the Outstanding Individual in Animation honor back in 2011 for the pilot episode of the series called Independence Day. And it's easy to see why, because the truth is that Young Justice would never have taken off if that first episode hadn't worked, and Barassa's contributions to that episode, and by extension the entire series, are one of the many reasons that it actually did work. Number 5. The loose connection to Justice League Doom. DC Universe animated original movie Justice League Doom was released in 2012, and it features a version of the iconic DC superhero team virtually identical to the one seen in Young Justice. The reason for that was simply down to the fact that Young Justice's lead character designer, Phil Barassa, also designed the characters for that film. As a result, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, John Johns, The Flash, and Green Lantern in the movie were the same versions we had known from the beloved Cartoon Network series. For years, fans wondered if the two might be connected somehow, but there is some evidence against that theory, namely the fact that Cyborg was finally introduced in the show's long-awaited third season, a Cyborg markedly different to the one seen in the 2012 movie. Number 4. Nolan North voices Superboy and Superman. Superboy is one of Young Justice's primary characters. It was, after all, his breakout from Cadmus Labs that kicked the show off, and since his arrival he's grown a great deal, learning from his teammates and his love for Miss Martian, not allowing his temper to control him, and ultimately figuring out how to be a part of a team. That being said, Superman features quite a bit in the show as well. He's not one of the primary characters, nor does he have as big of a role as Batman, but he does appear on a recurring basis, and he has crossed paths with Superboy from time to time. What's pretty darn remarkable about that, however, is that both characters are voiced by Nolan North. This actually makes sense, given that Superboy is a genetically modified clone of the Man of Steel, but given that the pair had some emotionally heavy material in the first season, and Superman learned to accept his young lookalike as a person and not a clone, it's amazing to think that North played both roles. Now he knows what D. Bradley Baker feels like in the Clone Wars. Number 3. The show's cancellation was down to toy sales. Young Justice resonated with fans for the entirety of its original run on Cartoon Network, with its series-long narratives holding their interest and its quirky characters earning their affection. It's also held a positive standing with critics who admired all of that too. With that in mind, it's no surprise that it drew strong viewership during its initial broadcast run. Its cancellation, on the other hand, was very surprising, with fans of the show unable to figure out why the plug was so suddenly pulled. It was a mystery that carried on for 3 years before co-creator Greg Wiseman confirmed on the Hip Hop Nerd podcast that its cancellation had nothing to do with popularity, ratings, or even a lack of storylines. No, the real reason was down to the fact that Young Justice's funding came from a toy deal with Mattel that was subsequently cancelled by the toy company because they weren't selling enough toys. But fans never gave up, and after years of diligent campaigning, Young Justice made its big return on DC Universe in 2019. Number 2. The Scooby-Doo WWE crossover. No, seriously. Following Young Justice's cancellation, co-creator Brandon Vietti moved on to animated film Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery. As implied by the title, the film is indeed a crossover between the world of Scooby-Doo and WWE, as Warner Bros. Animation teamed up with WWE Studios to bring it to life. The Scooby Gang's journey to WWE City to celebrate WrestleMania may have brought them face to face with the likes of Kane and John Cena, but that wasn't the strangest crossover the animated adventure actually boasted. During the film, viewers were treated to a cameo from Young Justice characters Wonder Girl, Artemis, Zatanna, and Miss Martian, all of whom were watching WrestleMania eagerly and celebrating the results. The heroes' cameos were unexpected to say the least, but it was a nice little nod from both Vietti and Warner Bros. To the popular series, one that sent Young Justice fans who noticed this into meltdown back in 2014, as it was a welcome chance to catch up with these characters after the show's cancellation. And number 1, it crossed over with Teen Titans Go. Young Justice's cancellation angered fans a great deal, and one of the targets of that anger was the show that many saw as its replacement. Teen Titans Go, even though I actually really like it, was a downright silly and very divisive comedy spin-off of the critically acclaimed Teen Titans animated series from the early noughties, and some took issue with the fact that the two well-received serious shows were no longer on the air when Teen Titans Go was. Those conflicts came to life beautifully on screen in the episode Let's Get Serious, when Young Justice members Aqualad, Superboy, and Miss Martian easily dispatch the villains, forcing the Titans to take their work more seriously. The episode makes for a hilariously on-the-nose commentary as Aqualad vocalizes many of the issues fans had with the series through his own grievances with how the Titans conduct themselves. This wouldn't be the only crossover Young Justice would have with Teen Titans Go either, as Young Justice Outsiders would feature its own nod to the divisive series when Beast Boy entered a virtual reality and was met with a fictional show called Doom Patrol Go, which saw Beast Boy adopt his Teen Titans Go appearance as he interacted with members of the Doom Patrol who were animated in the same style and voiced with the Teen Titans Go cast. And those were 10 mind-blowing facts about Young Justice. Know of any other interesting facts about the series? Let us know in the comments below, and please don't forget to drop the video a like if you enjoyed it, and to subscribe to What Culture Comics so you don't miss another upload going forward. I've been Ewan, catch me on Twitter at EwanRuinsThings, and I will see you next time. Bye!